So, when Gary asked me to speak, I started thinking, and I did a lot of thinking, and I had a lot of ideas. And then as I was driving to church this morning, I thought of some other thoughts to share with you. And now, 5 minutes ago, I noticed that the word that I was preparing to talk on is not the word in the bulletin. But being a stubborn soul as I am, I have decided to do what I wanted to do anyway. So I know it says incline, but somewhere along the line, I got in my head that the word I was talking on was invest, which actually sort of fits the idea of stewardship. And I know you're worried, oh no, it's invest, he's going to talk about money. But I'm a poor college student, and I don't have very much money, so I've decided to talk about investing in other ways. And I think sometimes it's easy for us to get caught up in the monetary side of church, and they pass the plate. I know my least favorite part, which sounds terrible, but my least favorite part of going to a new church or a church in a different town when I'm traveling is having so little money or things to give, and when the plate comes by, you awkwardly pass it to the next person and feel very self-conscious. I know this, I'm sure you've experienced this. Somebody hands you the offering plate, you don't have anything to put in, and you feel awkward and uncomfortable because now everyone there looks at you and, what are they thinking? Are they thinking I'm a cheapskate, or are they thinking I just don't value it? But I think that, and especially as Christians, it's easy sometimes to say, well, I don't have a lot of money, and I need it more than the church does. And I think that that's true a lot of times, because without people, a church really isn't anything. And if you give all of your money to the church and you don't have enough for yourself, then you can't come. And so we, as Christians, often have to find new ways and new things to invest in the church. Excuse me. Like our time or our skills. I know a lot of you out there are on committees like the building committee, and I know I've seen Gary Ernicek come and mow the grass in the vacant lot, or my dad has shoveled snow outside of the church for who knows how many years. And so I think that it's often important to realize that when you say you're a Christian, and you say that's not just, it's easy, it's comfortable to say that and then be absolved of any responsibility to the church or to the people who are maybe less fortunate than you. And you say, oh, well, I'm a Christian, I believe in God, and you say all the things in the service, and I'm guilty of it too, and then you go home and watch TV and go to work, and it just sort of slips away until next Sunday when you come back and you feel guilty again because the offering plate goes by and you have nothing to give. But I've found that you can oftentimes avoid some of that or all of that, perhaps misplaced guilt, but guilt all the same, if you find things to do in the service, especially in new places, that invest your time or your skills. Like when I go, I attempt to sing, because that's the only thing I can really give a lot of times at a news church. You sing loudly and help, lead the congregation in praise, or you give up your Saturday afternoon when you'd like to be sitting home by your warm fireplace drinking hot chocolate to come and shovel cold snow, so that on Sunday morning, when the older parishioners come, they don't slip on the ice that formed the night before. And so, it's easy to think that investing in stewardship is all about money, but I don't think it is. And I think that sometimes that's something that drives us away from churches, feeling, again, that guilt that we can't give more money or more time. And so I'd like to close with a quote, something to think about, by a priest, a Catholic priest who was alive during the Depression. He actually just died a few years ago. His name is Brennan Manning, and he had a quote about, it applies to stewardship. And the quote was, "The greatest single cause of atheism in the world today is Christians who acknowledge God with their lips, and then walk out the door and deny Him by their lifestyle. And that is what an unbelieving world simply finds unbelievable." And I think it's something to think about, because it's easy for us, again, to say, oh, I'm a Christian, and therefore I am guiltless, but we're not. And especially in the news, there are all these talks about these mega churches who make millions of dollars, and pastors live in extravagant homes, and the media and people who are not necessarily as faithful look at that and they say, why are you spending millions of dollars on your home when there are people in Detroit or other small communities who live on the streets in the winter? And so I think that that's something we should think about. Invest your money, absolutely. If you have money to give to the church, I think Father Jim would probably kill me if I said don't give it to us. But invest your time and your belief and your soul well, so that we can not only build a church and keep it running, but keep the church alive in practice as well. Thank you.